You're listening to WCAT Radio, your home for authentic Catholic programming.
Father, I want to thank and praise you.
Greetings, everyone. This is Theresa Rivezzo with Set Me Free Ministry. From all of us on WCAT Radio, tonight from across the Atlantic Ocean, in the heart of the south of Italy, we have with us Cicerio Millo, a poet and writer. He will discuss with us this evening in his native tongue, and I will gladly interpret. Tonight we will talk about a saint on Mount Gargano, Italy, who lived and bore the wounds of the stigmata for 50 years. Padre Pio. I met Cicerio at a bus stop at Padre Pio's in San Giovanni Rotondo. I was headed towards the cave of St. Michael, and he said to me, "When you enter the cave, remember, you're in the company of the angels." He also told me, "Teresa, you have traveled 7,000 miles from America to come see Padre Pio, and you will receive many blessings for this journey." And I have since I stepped foot on the hills of Gargano in Italy. And I'll never forget the night when I got off the bus. I entered into Our Lady of Maria delle Grazie, and I was consumed with a burning fire. And it wasn't human, it was divine. And I've never been the same since. Good evening, Cicerio. Thank you for being here today.
Good evening. Buonasera, Teresa. Thank you to you.
And the last time I saw you, we were praying the rosary together in the church of Padre Pio. It's such a blessing to have you here today. Cicerio, I've known you to be a devout and deeply spiritual person. Share with us your journey to faith in Jesus Christ.
Gesù mi è venuto in soccorso tante volte, sin da ragazzino.
So Jesus saved me a lot of time during my life.
Quando ero ragazzino mi sembrava che i miei sogni non contassero niente più, perché il mondo lo vedevo grigio. Ma Gesù, da quando ero ragazzino, che mi ha fatto vedere la via d'uscita da ogni prigione del mondo, per continuare a essere libero con i sogni vivi nel mio sangue.
But Jesus Christ proved me wrong and showed me a lot of opportunity, a lot of growth.
So Jesus Christ showed him the way, the truth, and the light. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
he was on a wrong... Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he was in a bad place, and every time Jesus Christ show me the right way and the right path.
So he was rescued out of the domain of darkness, it sounds like, and transferred into this kingdom of light. He was living the life, the way of the world, and now he has entered into the narrow gate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
When did you come to know Padre Pio, Cicerio?
Padre Pio è venuto nella mia vita in un momento difficile. Io pensavo che fosse finita, poi vidi un suo sguardo in un video di YouTube che lui rivolgeva a una telecamera.
So Padre Pio came to my life when I was like through a difficult time. And I was watching a video on YouTube, and I saw his eyes, and I saw a light, and gave me something.
Padre Pio, how old was he? How old?
24.
I was 24.
24 years old when you met Padre Pio.
Diciamo, il suo sguardo è stato, diciamo, il suo sguardo è stato come se ha riacceso tutte le cose belle della mia vita, che il mondo a volte ti fa pensare che sono solo fantasie, invece lui me le ha rimesse nel sangue.
His eyes made me believe again in my dream and a lot of things that I was lost at the time, and so he made me believe in that I.
So Padre Pio made you believe in Jesus Christ again.
In faith.
In the faith of God.
No, Teresa, lui la fede c'era sempre, solo che c'era anche la confusione, e lo sguardo di Padre Pio è come se mi ha fatto capire che quei sogni che avevo dentro di me erano tutte cose vere e non fantasie, tutte cose che la vita può regalare, non fantasie.
I have faith since I was little, and but Padre Pio made me believe that my dream was real. Okay, in my life, something like nice was happening, and wasn't just like my fantasy in my head.
Mm-hmm. So Padre Pio comes into your life, and he does that. And when he comes into our lives, we're never the same. I know I was never the same. So who was Padre Pio? Millions of people from all over the world come to be near Padre Pio. Cicerio, your encounter with Padre Pio, you received your healing. Your darkness was lifted.
Padre Pio è stato un uomo che ha affrontato per primo quella confusione che adesso noi stiamo vivendo, il combattimento.
So Padre Pio was a man that went through a lot of stuff that we are like face now, and he made believe us that we can make it, we can go through everything.
So you're saying Padre Pio is an example for us to carry our crosses. With all the suffering he went through, he carried that cross, that heavy cross. How? Go ahead.
Teresa,
sì.
Padre Pio il combattimento che ha fatto Padre Pio col diavolo e la sua perversione, che adesso noi vediamo, diciamo, ormai il male non si nasconde più, come ha detto la Madonna a Medjugorje. Senza il suo combattimento e il suo affrontarlo per primo, per noi sarebbe stato impossibile affrontare questi tempi, penso io.
So Padre Pio faced the devil, the blasphemy, and he made believe us that we can make it. We can face the devil and the blasphemy.
So the devil. So you're saying that
in the future.
Go ahead.
Present.
So you're saying that Padre Pio met the devil, and he made you believe that you can be strong to conquer the devil.
Yes, we can be strong enough to face it, to meet the devil, yes.
Sì, perché Gesù lo dice nel Vangelo, no? Che vi do il potere di scacciare i demoni. Però Padre Pio, diciamo, è stato proprio una prova di carne di un uomo che lo fa e che insegna, diciamo, a non temere il male.
So Jesus said that give us the power to face the devil and the demon. But Padre Pio was the real proof that we can make it, and he made it.
Yes, so we can fight the demons with the help of Jesus, and Padre Pio fought the demons, and he won the battle, and we can do it too. Wonderful.
Yes,
Thank you. Wonderful. That's wonderful, Cicerio. How has Padre Pio influenced your life, Cicerio?
Sì, Padre Pio, da quando l'ho incontrato la prima volta in quel video di YouTube, è sempre con me.
Yeah. Since I met Padre Pio and I was watching this video about him, since that day, Padre Pio is always with me every day, in every action.
Wow, that is amazing.
Perché quando io, come dire, quando io non trovo la risposta, io è come se guardo col mio cuore a lui e lui ha sempre una risposta, sempre.
So when I cannot find the answer for my life, and I watch Padre Pio, not with my eyes, but with my heart, and I always find the answer, the right answer.
Beautiful. You find, when you find everything with God with your heart and not with your eyes, not with the material world. Wow.
Perché questo mondo si fida di ciò che vede e non comprende niente, ma chi si fida del cuore comprende tutto.
So this world believe just in what they see through the eyes, and they don't use their heart.
I
And they don't understand anything. But if you watch the thing through your heart, you know the answer already.
So you're saying that this world sees with their eyes, not with their heart. And Jesus, if we seek Jesus, he sees our heart. We can't see with the eyes, because the world will leave you astray, will leave you wrong. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, the next question is, what do you know about Padre Pio stigmata? Can you define his stigmata?
Allora, le stimmati di Padre Pio le hanno viste migliaia e migliaia di persone che non si conoscevano e non avevano interessi nel parlarne bene o male. E spesso dalle sue mani chi si avvicinava sentiva emanare un profumo di fiori celestiale.
So a lot of people saw Padre Pio stigmata, and those people have no interest in faith or in Padre Pio to say something wrong. And the same people smell like something about flower coming out in.
Did you say flowers?
Yeah, flowers.
So you're
very,
saying,
very strong.
So you're saying that there was a perfume that would come out of the wounds of Padre Pio?
Yes.
E le stimmati Padre Pio non le aveva solo alle mani, le aveva anche al costato e ai piedi. E quando gli comparvero, un sacerdote, per vedere la profondità della piaga sul costato, mise una foglia di alloro ed entrò tutta.
So Padre Pio had a stigmata on his feet, on his hand, and on his ribs. A priest put inside this stigmata on the rib a leaf, and to check how deep they were. And the leaf went through all the stigmata.
So they put a liter of what? Water or liquid?
A leaf.
A leaf.
I don't know.
A leaf.
Yes.
Like a flower, a leaf from a tree.
Quando il Signore gli aveva detto a Padre Pio che dopo 50 anni gliele avrebbe tolte le stimmati, e c'è un video della sua ultima messa dove si vedono dopo 50 anni, quando lui morirà subito dopo, presto, e le stimmati non ci sono più.
So it was a bay leaf.
Oh, a bay leaf. A bay leaf.
Yeah.
They put inside the wound on his hand. For what reason, Alessandro? For what reason?
Just to check if it was real, and it was like how much deep it was.
Okay, so they thought that Padre Pio was faking, and they were experimenting.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you. I wanted to just share with the audience here. Those that got close to him noticed the odor, flowers emanating from the stigmata.
Yeah, so Jesus Christ told to Padre Pio that after 60 years, the hood was like disappeared, and it actually happened because after the last mass that he celebrated, the stigmata was disappeared.
Yes.
As Jesus Christ said.
I heard. Yes, Padre Pio, after he died, the stigmata closed because he finished his missione, his mission. He finished the Calvary. He finito Calvary. Finished the Calvary. Okay, I'm going to ask another question, Cicerio. What is your experience when you come to visit San Giovanni Rotondo?
Bene, io la prima volta che sono andato a San Giovanni Rotondo non la dimenticherò mai, perché mi sono inginocchiato davanti alla stanza dove dormiva Padre Pio e gli ho detto: io mi sto impegnando, ma se tu non mi dai luce non posso fare di più. E in quel momento senti un calore che insomma mi ha ricordato proprio qual è il centro della mia anima e la mia missione.
So the first time I went to San Giovanni Rotondo, and I won't forget because it was unbelievable. I felt a lot of stuff and a lot of warm. And when I went close to his room, and I said in my prayer, and I'm making the effort, but you need to give the signal. And I saw like a light, and I felt my soul was pulping, and was saying something to me.
So you saw a light when you were in the room in front of the room of Padre Pio, and that light was speaking to you. I believe that light was the Holy Spirit, was Jesus speaking to your heart. I also when I was at San Giovanni Rotondo, I experienced burning in my soul. I experienced heaven on earth. Would you say, Cicerio, that when you go to San Giovanni Rotondo, it's heaven? You meet heaven on earth, a bit of heaven.
Quando torno da San Giovanni Rotondo porto con me una spada, è come se si mettono gli angeli intorno per affrontare la vita di tutti i giorni.
So when I coming back from San Giovanni Rotondo, I feeling like they have a mission, like all the angels, like and stay with me and protect me and help me in every battle of my life.
Wow.
And every new battle, every new like journey, every new mission.
You feel that mission, and that mission is an inner divine flame that wants to sanctify us, purify us. And on Mount Gargano, which was sanctified by his presence, Padre Pio renewed the sacrifice of Golgotha every morning at the Mass. There he offered himself as a victim, a sacrifice for poor sinners. So we too must be a sacrifice at the Mass with Christ. And there's no better place to do it but in San Giovanni Rotondo, where the victim soul of Padre Pio was. The Calvary was reenacted. We'll come into the last question now. What advice would you give to the people that want to enter back into the Catholic faith?
Gesù è il santo, è l'amore. E tutti noi sappiamo che l'amore è quello che rende tutto bellissimo. Ma non sappiamo che solo Lui che è morto in croce per noi ci dà l'amore infinito e ci insegna ad amare.
So Jesus Christ is love, and the love moves everything. And Jesus Christ teaches us every day to love, and he has died on the cross for us, for everyone. And he's teaching every day how to love. And Cicerio thinking that without Jesus is nothing, and no reason to live.
To live.
To stay and to stay safe.
So without Jesus, there is no reason to live. And also, Padre Pio, he also said that without Jesus, no la vita, no life. And Padre Pio was...
Perché, Teresa,
sì.
Tutti dicono amiamo, ma se non ti insegna l'amore che è andato in croce per te, come Gesù, noi alla prima difficoltà non amiamo più e finisce l'amore, mentre Gesù ci fa amare sempre.
Everyone is good to say how to love and to love, but Jesus Christ teaches us how to love and forever, for good, not just like for like months here and the first issue like people stop to believe that. But Jesus teaches us how to love forever.
Jesus teaches us how to love forever. Yes. Cicerio, how do you evangelize? What do you do? How do you evangelize the people?
Ma per me la vita di tutti i giorni, le persone che incontro, sono me stesso con l'amore per Dio negli occhi e buonanotte.
So I evangelize.
Evangelize. So you evangelize.
Evangelize every day, like in every action and what I do every day, and I try to speak to people about Jesus Christ, and if they believe in that, I'm feeling happy and good, and if they don't, I keep doing my journey, and I believe in Jesus Christ because this is my life. You work and you do something. I believe in Jesus Christ. I feel like this is my mission.
So this is your mission, Jesus Christ. Cicerio, that is beautiful. And you are an example for all of us. So we are about to close off now. And I just want to say that there is no doubt that Padre Pio dedicated his life to prayer and suffering. And I want to thank you so much for being here tonight from Italy, all the way from Italy. We thank you so much. Grazie per tutti.
Thank you for having us.
Cicerio, say goodnight to us in Italian.
Sì, vi abbraccio forte, e state su con la testa, su col cuore e avanti.
See you in Italia, Cicerio. Ciao, buonanotte. Dio ti benedicta. Coming up next, in the heart of New York City, we have Yolanda Propacino. She has been living in the Bohemian world for 60 years. I met Yolanda in Greenwich Village, New York. I was an aspiring ballerina at the time. I was lonely and I was a lost soul. Yolanda's biblical teachings and wisdom led me back to my Catholic faith. When she invited me to her apartment, I saw a holy picture on her wall, what I thought was a monk. I asked her, "Who's that man?" She said, "That's Padre Pio." From then on, Padre Pio became my spiritual father. I'm with Yolanda in her studio right now. Welcome, Yolanda, to WCAT Radio. Thank you for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
So, you told me once you were accepted in Actors Studio, and you were featured in a movie called Shadows. And the producers at the time were picking actors for MGM. Tell me about that.
Well, they asked me if I wanted to be in the movie, and I just went along with everything. I always said it. I had no reality of anything in life. I had no purpose. I had no interest. I never knew what was going on.
But when they picked you, what did you think? Did you sign the contract?
No.
Why?
Because I wanted to go to Padre Pio.
Okay, so did you leave theater at that time? You didn't sign the contract, did you?
No.
Then what happened?
I went to St. Giovanni.
Okay. How did you find out about Padre Pio?
Dolores Ailing, her name was. I think if I could remember.
In New York?
Right, yeah. She came down to Cornelia Street, and she said to me and Pat, if you go to Italy, go see this man who was Padre Pio. He's a saint. And I said, saint? I thought you were a saint after you die. I never knew you were a saint when you're alive. But she was very excited. And she's the one that wanted to go. And we both went, that's all.
Okay. So, what was it like to be at Padre Pio's Mass? Were there a lot of people?
Oh, yeah. It was very crowded. Yeah. No, I just didn't know. I mean, I was just me. I had no fear, nothing. I didn't have oh, Padre Pio, I love you. Oh.
Did you know who he was?
I know he was Father Pio, but I didn't have the conception of anything about him, okay?
You told me once that he lit up like a light bulb.
He had an aura around his body. And, people have that, People have that. But I don't know.
When you say an aura, did he glow? Did his skin glow?
The whole thing. And I thought they put little holes in his little, what do you call, habit. And they put a Christmas bulbs in it and they light up. No, I didn't know, really. I didn't know.
Now, how long did the Mass last?
Over 2 hours, 3 hours.
And when he lit the host, what did you see? Anything?
I didn't see it, but they said that Christ appeared right there.
In the host?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You mean to say Padre Pio was communicating to Jesus?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I didn't know who Jesus was. I'm a Catholic and I didn't even know. Mm-hmm.
What is the story of the peasants with the long needles?
We had to get up early in the morning. We had to get up early in the morning to go to the door because we wanted to get a certain seat in church. And they would pinch you, so you jump and somebody else will come.
Was it a long line?
Oh, Madonna, yes.
At what time in the morning?
About 3.
What year was this? 1960?
About 3 or 4.
1963,
64.
64.
Or 65, something like that. I'm not sure. But I have it all there.
So you have these peasants with needles ready to jab people. That's something out of a Fellini movie. Pretty much, these crowds that attended at 5 a.m. Mass, they were so large that they couldn't accommodate them all. The little town was inundated with pilgrims from all walks of life. Peasants, doctors, lawyers, and journalists. And they would have to sleep outdoors in the fields and wait as long as 2 weeks to make their confession to Padre Pio. Padre Pio would wait up to 16 hours a day hearing confessions. His miraculous capacity of reading souls, and this is what I read, he would identify unconfessed sins of his penitents. This was widely reported. This is the gift he had. You told me you went to confession with him. How long did it take to get to confession? Was it a week? Was it 2 weeks?
No, this Brother Bill lived here on West 4th Street, and he was a homosexual. And he heard of Father Pio, and he went to Padre Pio. And then he thought they were crazy, and he came back. And he said, okay. And then he was haunted in his mind. He had to go back. Then he had to go back, and he became a priest. And Father Pio told him, you cannot live that life you're living if you want to go to heaven.
So did he get you to confession?
Father Pio?
Brother Bill?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long did it take to get to the confessional box?
About a day or two.
One day. And what happened when you went inside the confession?
Well, they said people
Did you
there...
speak Italian?
But half and half. They said, when you go to confession to Father Pio, his face changes and you see Jesus. So when I was there, I kept looking to see if I could see Jesus. I saw Father Pio.
You didn't see Jesus?
No, I saw Father Pio. And I went to confession to him. And what happened, I got very close, face to face at Padre Pio, right at Father Pio.
What was it like being face to face to Padre Pio?
To see if he looked like Jesus? I don't know. I mean, I had no reality who he was, what he was. I had nothing. I just wanted to get back to New York. I had no purpose, no reality, and I couldn't care less.
So when you were in confession, how long did it take?
Well, he always said to me, he would say to me, la tu peccato è molto leggera. And he kept saying, è molto leggera. And I didn't even know what that meant. So then he says, ma fatina. And I went out.
What does that mean? Fatina?
Go, get out.
And what is molto peccato? What is molto peccato?
My sins were not, I had no sins. My sins were
small,
very light.
Were you happy to hear that?
I didn't know what sins were.
Okay. When you encountered Padre Pio, what did you see? Did you see his stigmata? Did you ever see his stigmata?
I think I did, yes. Yeah.
Did you touch it?
Well, he always had his gloves off when he said Mass. He said Mass, he would take his gloves off. I mean, it's like I was facing a crowd. It was a gift from God. I found that out later on in my life.
I'm going to ask you, when you told me you touched his hand.
I shook his hand.
And then what happened?
And I squeezed it.
You squeezed his stigmata?
Yeah, he yelled.
He yelled?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
I said. I thought it was, who knew? Okay.
When you showed him a picture of your mother was from Italy, am I correct?
Yes.
From Avellino?
Yes.
When you showed him a picture of your mother, you asked him what?
I asked him if my mother was saved. He said, Proprio Savaggia. He put the picture on his chest. And he said, Carina, Bella, he just loved that picture. And I said to myself, what are you doing?
So he said she was saved.
Yeah, he said, Proprio Savaggia. And when one person's saved in a family, the whole household's saved.
Wow.
It's in the Bible.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know he bore the wounds of Jesus?
I heard it, yeah.
But did you know when you heard of the wounds in his feet, in his hands?
I had no reality, I just knew it. I didn't even know what they were. It's like having a baby there not knowing anything. Things happened later on. The explosion came.
What do you mean explosion?
The reality.
Can you explain the reality?
Well, let me tell you, when I was in confession, and when I tried to see what he looked like, he said to me, I went to Brother Bill, and I said, Brother Bill, what was he saying? I didn't understand. And he did say, I got the letter, you're going to be persecuted. I said, what does that mean? He said, you're going to have people going to persecute. You're going to like you, take advantage of you. I never heard take advantage. How do you do that? I did not know.
What was this letter he gave you?
I have it with me.
What did it say?
Tell Yolanda I would pray for her. I have to get it.
I will be with you and protect you. I think I remember.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
And guide you for the rest of your life.
Wow, that is special. You know what a blessing that is that you
No,
were
I
there?
don't know nothing.
It was a blessing that you were there. You saw a saint. A living saint.
Yeah.
A living saint. Did you know he was a living saint?
No.
Padre Pio said, I'll read some of his quotes. Prayer is the best weapon we possess, the key that opens the heart of God. What was his favorite quote?
I don't know.
Pray, hope, and
Not
don't
to
worry.
What he said, pray and don't worry, is what I have now.
You don't worry.
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you totally trust in God?
I don't know. Probably.
Did you ever smell Padre Pio's perfume?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Where?
Here.
In your apartment?
Yeah.
What does it smell like?
I cannot explain it.
Does it smell like roses?
No, I don't know.
Does it smell sweet?
Nice and soft. I can't explain it.
Does it fill the atmosphere? Your home?
No.
Just around you? Did you ever
I smelled it the other night.
And what did you do?
I said, oh, there you go again. Where are you?
What?
I said, where are you?
Now, I was also told that, what does that mean, the tobacco? If you smell tobacco.
Danger.
Was that a warning that he gave you?
Not me.
What was it?
I never smelled
What is the tobacco that he would say?
I think it's danger for the person. I really don't know. I don't know. You have to...
I could recall it meant, watch out, the devil is around you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you told me you asked Father Pio if you should become a nun. Tell me about that.
He said, no.
Why?
Go back to New York, and I will bless some people, and there were others I will not bless.
So he will send people to your apartment.
I don't know.
And I was one of them. I know I was one of them.
Yeah. So is Richard.
Yes, I was one of them, and I lived here in Yolanda's apartment for about 8 years.
Wow.
And Padre Pio brought me to Yolanda. And my conversion happened through Padre Pio in 1982. It was a long time ago, remember?
Yeah.
So when you came back to America, was your life, did you see a spiritual change in your life when you came back?
Very slowly.
What do you mean slowly?
Well, I'll be honest with you, really. You heard about the blood of Christ?
Yes.
Everything changed.
So
My outlook in life. If you could, you all yell at me. If you try to make a fool out of me in front of people, say, would you shut up?
Nothing mattered. You became humble.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Were you a Franciscan?
Not that I know of. I wanted it to be.
You got, at one time, did you get rid of your wardrobe?
Oh, yeah.
And how many clothes did you have?
I used to walk with slip. With slip.
You had the brown dress like St. Francis?
No, Pat did.
Okay, and what would you say today your spiritual life is with Padre Pio?
I would say I'm today now living with a true spirit. And said where God thought Padre Pio's placed in me. When you live with a good spirit, you know what? It is a better quantity of life, and it's called blessed.
Would you want to go back to San Giovanni Rotondo, to Padre Pio?
If he was there? Yeah, but not now.
He's not. He's in heaven now.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you always told me, life is a sauce without salt.
I did.
What does that mean?
Tasteless.
What do you think he meant? It's
well,
tasteless.
in other words, the world is dead, and the world is dying out. People cannot live the way they used, joy. Everybody tells you what happened. Things are changing. The energy in the universe died out. And God, the Virgin Mary, has been warning people on the earth, your sins are too heavy, too much. You're not nice to each other. Too much.
What do you think the Calvary that Padre Pio had to bear, what did that impress on your mind, knowing that he bore the wounds for 50 years?
I have no reality of it.
You have no reality?
To this day, no. God's keeping that reality from me. I probably crack up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All I know is it was a gift from Father Pio. No, it was God's gift for me and Pat to be a St. Giovanni Rotondo. It had to be. It had to be because my whole life slowly was changing.
So you had this transformation from actor's studio all the way to Padre Pio. And now you live this humble life in Greenwich Village like a Franciscan. And you don't desire anything of this world.
Oh, come on. Well, Satan's world? No way.
Satan's world.
Who do you think God created it, but he's running it. Who's running this world?
You tell me.
Lucifer. He's a rebel. He rebels against God. Everything God does. Everything.
Did Padre Pio ever encounter the devil?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me about the story?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can read about that. Not the devil. The leader. Lucifer.
Do you know of any story you could tell us that happened?
No, it's in the book. You can read it. He beat him up, black and blue. And the Virgin Mary, Mother of Mary. You see, Mary and Jesus were born out of time. Out of time. That's why they're different than humans. We were born in time, like, oh, it's time to go home, it's time to eat, it's time to do this, but not them.
I'm going to ask you, did they visit Padre Pio?
Of course they did.
What was the story in the room you told me once? They couldn't open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me. Tell us.
Yeah, they had to push it.
I think I remember.
Okay.
Brother Bill went to go look in the room, and he couldn't open the door.
Oh, Brother Bill.
Because he peeked in and he saw Jesus, Mary, and St. Francis. And the reason why he couldn't open the door, from what I read, is that when there's celestial beings that come to earth, there's too much sin. And Bill couldn't open the door because the force of the divine prevented it.
Okay.
So, Yolanda, what can you leave us with about Padre Pio before we sign off and the show's about...
The quantity of my life today, I could really, really, really say this, is blessed.
By Padre Pio. By meeting Padre Pio.
God and Father Pio's blessed it. He said I would bless it anyway, right? Because you know what? When people are nasty, very nasty to me, and I could see it. I could sit there not saying a word. I say, Lord, forgive them. Really, really forgive them. Because they're going to be judged. And Father Pio, what can I say? He was chosen. There are people, you're either called or chosen. I was chosen.
Were you chosen?
No, I was called.
Okay, Yolanda, it was a pleasure having you tonight. And it was a blessing that you shared all these stories with us.
Well, thank you for having me here.
The souls that journey to the hill of Gargano are transformed, are changed. They've touched heaven on earth, cielo. The encounter with a man changed by Christ, who changed the lives of those around him and remain still changing the lives of so many souls. You mentioned that Padre Pio was chosen, and you had no reality. You were just a face in the crowd. Father Pio's life was a life of prayer and suffering. Every breath he took was a prayer, never for himself, but always for others. Padre Pio said, "My daughter, Christ does not want you on Mount Tabor, but on Calvary. Religious life is Tabor, matrimony is Calvary. On Tabor, one seeks, one finds, and one lives united with God in prayer and in contemplation. On Calvary, one finds suffering in crucifixion with Jesus." This is Set Me Free Ministry, and if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed.
Distrugge innanzitutto la carità, ci fa perdere la pace con noi stessi, rompe i vincoli della carità col prossimo e le conseguenze ognuno lo può misurare, perché chi più e chi meno vita.
Thank you for listening to a production of WCAT Radio. Please join us in our mission of evangelization. And don't forget, love lifts up when knowledge takes flight.